it's very hard to self-diagnose some of the things that you have adapted and create your limitations. So limiting beliefs, limiting words, limiting statements, it'll actually cause you to see exactly what you imagine versus what reality is. The invisible barriers are statements and perpetuated actions from those statements. Well, this is just the way we've been doing it. I guess we'll just keep doing it this way.
And hello, my friends, and welcome on board. My name is Derek Fennell, and I'm your host on the Next Gen podcast. And you're right on time for takeoff, so take your seats, fasten your seatbelts, and sit back and enjoy the flight on the Next Gen podcast. Welcome on board. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Next Gen Podcast 1, where we explore how clarity, value, and execution come together to create meaningful results. I'm your host, Derek Fennell, and before we begin, I want to ask you to like, subscribe, and share this episode. Now, when you engage, you help platforms like YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify recognize this conversation as valuable, and that helps it reach more leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals who are actively looking for better ways to grow. And today's guest helps people rethink what value truly means and how to bring more of it into their work and lives. Amanda Metzer is the founder of Bring More Value, where she helps individuals and organizations align strengths, priorities, and outcomes to create impact that actually matters. Amanda, welcome to Next Gen Podcast 1. How are you today?
Derek, I am doing great today. Thank you for allowing me to share some insights and bring some clarity to your audience when it comes to progress and performance that leads to future profit in their business or in their pursuit of passive income streams.
Well, we're happy to have you on board, and we're looking forward to this exciting conversation that we're going to have. So, Amanda, let me ask you this first. What experiences led you to create Bring More Value?
Experiences in business, understanding, well, at the time, the things I didn't know, and through my own pursuit to enhance my awareness of fundamentals and practices, principles for business scalability, led me on a journey to mentorship and to educational avenues that now I desire to share and desire to bring more value to other audiences that are entrepreneurial, people that have a dream, have a mission, but might not know how to execute it.
Okay. Now, was there a moment that you realized that people were working hard but not necessarily creating meaningful value? Was there a moment that you realized that?
Yeah,
when did that moment occur, and how did it come about?
It came about in a roundabout way. I went through a double rollover accident while operating my 3-division trade company, and I learned very swiftly about what it was I didn't know in that turnover experience, and it just sparked a journey to discover ways to strengthen and minimize liability and longevity of an organization. So the moment of clarity came on February 1st of 2021, and I'm sorry, 2026. And in 2021, I launched Bring More Values Consulting Program. So in 2016, I was in a double rollover accident that created the clarity.
Wow, that must have been terrifying. So how did that realization shape your approach to today's environment? How did that realization shape your approach?
Yeah, the shape took form in the lack of opportunity to pause and to recover. And I know after my journey and helping so many business owners that we do that. We ride the line a little bit too close and banking on things always going as we plan. And so it was very much just an awareness to know that even in the midst of an accident such as that, I desire to help business owners put in the places and spaces where they could sit on a ledge and rest and recover, because I didn't get that. And I didn't have the things in place to afford me to pause and take care of the most important vehicle, which was me, after I got injured in a vehicle.
Wow. So that gap between the effort, that gap that you just spoke about, between having the time to recover and making sure that all the results and efforts that you're putting in, a lot of times those problems are invisible. They're not as blatantly visible as your accident, you know. So how do you talk to someone that they can't see what the problem is, you know, with how you can bring more value to them? How do you open their eyes to that?
I play some role play scenarios with them in the coaching programs, where we step forward in a track of imagination and realize in that area, do they have what it requires to sustain the business without them being hands-on and hands-in. I help them understand what I call above the neck delegation, and being able to throw the reins over to a trusted leadership team, and how to build those teams, how to qualify the capabilities for people that are serving the organization and not necessarily serving the business owner, because they're two separate things. And in our coaching programs, we help them identify that. So my exercises that we work through in the coaching and consulting side help them identify the blind spots of their business when they are the ones wearing all the hats, and how to properly segment that in a scalable manner, so they could, let's just say, take a pause, even if it's not, and God forbid it be for the cause of an accident, but let's just say they just want to go on vacation. One of my clients is in that situation now, where they just want to take a pause and go and be present in their personal life. And so we help business owners set up the framework that allows the power of productivity without your active participation. And that's how I work with business owners, to bring them about into a higher awareness. And from there, we help them track the data, which is another side of our service support that we provide.
Now, you typically work with leaders, entrepreneurs, teams, or individuals in transition?
I work with executive teams, I work with leadership, and I work with founders. I also work with business owners that are in startup mode, or they're looking to go from a single operation of themselves to work to many. But in a short answer, I work with the leadership team and with the business owners on the structure that creates the scalability.
Okay. Now, so when people first come to you, are there patterns that these individuals have when they first come to work with you? Can you identify patterns? Okay, expound on that for us.
Patterns are symptomatic, and they're systematic. So when I do an observation or evaluation on a business, I can tell within the first 30 minutes of conversation what might be the impediment, what might be the pinch in performance. And there's a specific framework of evaluation that I run through, and I can discover, similar to, we'll just say, diagnosing something related to your vehicle. There's a diagnostics procedure, and then from there, a proper replacement or repair protocol, or triage within, medical. If you come into the emergency room, they'll come into my emergency room for their business, and we'll evaluate all of the necessary points of observation to discover where the immediate hemorrhage is and how to create long-term repair in the business. Now, Derek, it's kind of interesting because when I talk with business owners, they think the problem is they need more leads or they need more team. The discovery that I have found that's synonymous is they usually desire those things, but the solution is relating to their perception and the state of their mind and where they are perceiving their problems versus looking at data to discover. It's emotionally driven leadership response versus proactive, systematic, data-driven actions. So response versus action. One is emotional, one is an approach based on information systems and a framework to scale the business.
Now you've developed a new, is it an app or is it software? What is it? Pro tip. What was it
Track
called?
It Pro. Trackitpro.io.
Talk to us about it.
So it is all of those above.
Trackitpro.io.
Yeah,
Okay.
trackitpro.io.
Tell us about it.
All of those. It is both the app, an app being short for an application. It's mobile and iPad or tablet compatible. It's also web compatible for your computer. But in a short story, Derek, it is the automation to the performance that creates profitability in your business. And it complements what we do and bring more value in our coaching and consulting programs. And it acts as a systematic arm to help the business move with a consistency towards their fundamental practice and their procedures, and where that data is housed. As such, it called trackitpro.io. It tracks data variables and gives the leadership and management team ways to improve performance and calculate future profitability, which is key. It's a key difference, calculating future profit versus telling a story of hindsight financial performance. That's the biggest separator, is we help them tell the future versus look at the past.
So someone coming to bring more value for the first time, how is all this merged together? How does the Track It Pro and bring more value, how does it work? How do you implement that into said company?
Thanks for that question. It's actually a seamless integration, because companies can onboard into trackitpro.io by signing up and gaining access to the software and not come into the programs at all. And the software will assist them in automating the performance and gaining profitability. On the same token, if they want more guidance, if they want to immerse themselves in a higher knowledge for business fundamentals, they can become a Bring More Value program participant in our Do It Together program, our VIP program, or our Fast Track program. And that is an inclusivity. It's an inclusivity of coaching, consulting. It's inclusivity of fractional services to help them with their back office, their marketing. But it's also an inclusivity of the software and systems. So I call it the all-inclusive Mexico package, in the sense that nobody likes to go into a service and realize everything's a la carte, or there's something extra when they saw the package and they realize when they open the box, it's like, oh, I have to upgrade. So in terms of how that kind of melts together, in Bring More Value, our goal is to seamlessly help you adapt by including access to all of these tools, resources, and practices, as well as the guidance and the assistance to implement. And that's the key difference, is we help you adapt a new muscle memory and a new physical movement in your business. And Track It Pro is one of those pieces, but you can use Track It Pro on its own and basically be in a self-learning or self-adaptation framework and just use the software. Or you can come into the Bring More Value family and we can do it together.
Wow. Okay. So they have the option of just working the platform itself alone, or they can have assistance from your organization. That's basically what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Go ahead.
It's interesting when you understand that Track It Pro is just the automation of what we teach in the programs. So you can go straight to Z and get all the way to the end and start using Track It Pro, or you can start by wanting to understand why Track It Pro is a performance and a profitability predictable tool. It's a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
helps predict profit. So a lot of people will just onboard to the software, and they'll discover out of curiosity, and they'll reach out and onboard into the programs. So it's an ecosystem of solutions for contractors and service providers, but they are independent. I have some people that are in our consulting programs, and they're so afraid of change. They have yet to adopt systems, and that's part of what we help them work through, is their willingness to change.
Now, do you work specifically with a certain industry, or is this across all industries? How does
It is universal to the service and trades and blue collar sectors. So it's electrical, plumbing, mechanical, carpentry, drywall, painting, any of the service sectors that are wearing tools or working on what's considered property rehab or new build, new construction. So specifically, we work with contractors, general contractors, service and repair industry. Typically, it's blue collar service sector in terms of its operations and field tool performance. It does time cards, it does invoicing, merchant process, it does all the things, but it has some secret aspects that bring more value to the performance that creates more profit in a future versus hindsight. So those are some of the things that are different from other tools such as Service Titan or House Call Pro. We're very interested in guiding a future profitability versus documenting a hindsight performance of the past that we can't change.
So can you give a scenario of where someone came to you and I guess they were maybe struggling, or they had a leaky tire, they were losing air out of their tire, they're rolling along, but because they came and dealt with bring more value and your apps there, could you give us a scenario of, real life scenario of how you made a difference? You don't have to use names or anything, but just give our viewers a understanding of what it would be like, what they were like before, and after working with Bring More Value, this is what they received. How did they increase in value?
Thank you for letting me share. There are so many examples that I could offer you, but in honor of time and being clear, I'm going to give you guys a real world client account from this past basically 6 months of fun activities.
Okay.
Clients brought the firm on as they were going out of the country. 3 days until they departed, they didn't know what to do because this was a planned trip that was non-refundable, and they didn't know how they were going to execute this planned trip out of the country while running the business with active teammates in the field, active jobs going on, and they committed to coming in to bring more value in our fast track program, and they flew away 3 days later. And our team and our support in our on-demand department resources was able to immediately grab the wheel and the map, meaning drive where they wanted. And upon their return, in this 7-day hiatus, we were able to transition a non-performing lead technician in an exit, and we were able to bring in and staff up a new lead technician, and the return of the business owner timed on the start date of the new lead technician. And it just so happened that morning, the business owner fell and broke their back.
No.
Which caused an opportunity for us to bring more value than you can imagine if you were doing it by yourself. Because we were able to step in a further execution and responsibility hat to allow that point of recovery. And the recovery was 2 parts. It went from being basically immobilized with broken ribs and damaged back. And the anxiety that the business owner had felt was so much that it caused them to, we'll just say, have a complete meltdown. They felt like they couldn't do, like they couldn't help. And the truth was they couldn't help. They were incapacitated for all intents and purpose. And that lasted for about 2.5 weeks before, maybe 3 weeks before they were able to return to even a light duty. And this period of roughly 4 weeks, we were able to come in and fix and course correct the cash flow pattern and the business activities in terms of how we operated. And it led to the second month being their second highest revenue month. But the caveat to that, Derek, is it was profitable. They had one prior month before we came in where they did a high revenue, but they did it at a loss, at a negative, at a deficit. So their second highest performing month revenue wise also sustained a profitability margin to show the course correction that can happen when you start to bring people in that can help you and guide you. That was a real world scenario, and it took me and our team about 6 to 8 weeks to start what I call banking the cash flow performance. And during that period, it was the first time in over 12 months that business did not draw on its line of credit, that we were able to come in, space for traveling, hold space for healing, while also fixing cash flow performance, systems, processes, and creating clarity to retain the team through all of this chaos. Because when chaos happens, it creates fear in the team where they're like, I don't know, should I find another job? Is this company gonna stick around? I don't know, the leader is not here. But we were able to, we'll just say, hold it together and we'll just say weld any fractures while the business owner was not even in the business. So that's one real scenario that I can share with your audience.
Yeah, that's incredible what you guys did. That was incredible. Now, so typically how long a process are you guys on board for? Is it like, does somebody come in, like this guy was out for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, however many weeks it was, and then you guys just step out and he just continues on with what you've implemented? Or how does it work that way? Do you guys hold his hand for a period of time, for another 6 weeks or a year, or is it a process that he's with you? You guys are connected at the waist for the eternity. You guys just step in and then once he's back, you're done, or do you continue on with support?
You
How
use
does that
such
work?
expressive words, eternity, Derek. You said eternity. Now, in my happy life, I imagine that we stay connected in a partnership opportunity where I can stay mentoring and coaching. But the goal of these programs is to do immersive learning and implement support, meaning that we don't just teach you and coach you and you come to the classes or you come to the conferences, but your perfection of implementation is our goal. So if I were to give you a time frame, our Do It Together program is more of like a self-directed, where they're just in the coaching consulting side and they have a small amount of fractional support, meaning they're mostly self-guided and they're mostly the implementers and building their systems or guided to build their systems. In our VIP program, it's more of more access to on-demand department resources. In our fast track program, it's very much a revenue share and performance-based program where we come in and we're the other half of the business, helping you so you could focus on the side of strength where you might be in operations. And those programs, the goal is to basically within a 12-week period now here's the key, with the willingness to change the way you're doing something, because you can't start a program and not want to change, let's just say going from manual time cards and people texting you their hours to adopting an app or a software and say, I don't want to do that, because then you're just doing the impossible. So they have to be willing to change. And it takes about 12 weeks. We go through 3 phases. We go through demo phase, and that's usually a period of observation where we're watching what they're doing, how they're operating, what's working, what's not working. And in that demolition phase, we're discovering what we're about to cut out and what we're about to bring in. And then we go into a rough construction phase, so to speak, where we start basically moving and shifting these points of change. And that phase leads into what I consider a trim phase or a final phase of picking up the pace after you've mastered the systems. And that takes about 12 to 18 weeks for a company that everybody's leaning in. From there, I usually work with the companies for anywhere from 12 to 36 months as they go into growth, and sometimes they're scaling and sometimes they're holding their revenue place and getting ready to expand. So it's a back and forth of growth, but they are never alone in their decision or in needing guidance. We're always there. And if they fully separate from the programs, which, and create complete autonomy, some companies don't want to scale, to, 10 people, 20 people, 100 people. They just want to learn enough to make a happy little home for them and, their two teammates. Those businesses usually will phase out and get out of the programs once they've figured out how to operate from first gear through fifth gear and know how to go in reverse. Once they drive the car, they can leave, and not that they can't before, but typically our goal is to maintain a relationship where we are on there as a consultant or a mentor relationship, even down the road, tax planning strategy for your exit and making sure you make plan. So it's really up to the business owner how long they want to stay in the programs or when they feel comfortable enough to step outside and just reach back to us for some periodical guidance.
Now, when you say they're like driving the car, would the car be the trackitpro.com tool? Is that the car that they're
Trackitpro.io is more like the fuel, and it's high octane, giving them more perpetual power. But their car is their car. It is their business. It's their brand. It's their brand promise or their pillars. It's helping them understand their standard operating procedures or SOPs, helping them understand, where to put that data and how that data can be leveraged to increase or change performance in the future. So the vehicle is their dream, is their desire to build a business that is from their heart, but is separate from them, so they could step away from it and go on a vacation.
Okay. Now, let's talk about invisible barriers that prevent people from sustaining long-term value. Share with us on that. Can you talk about that a little bit? What kind of invisible barriers do they run into when they're trying to sustain long-term value? What are some of the things that you would point out to them that was invisible, but after pointing it out to them, it made a great change in their business?
I really like that you said invisible, because usually where the limitations are is a place in space that they cannot see, but they can only hear. And what I mean by that is they themselves can only hear the echoes that are happening in their mind about thoughts, about words or statements that have been shared or told to them, or they themselves built in a limitation. So these invisible barriers are in the mind, which is why our first course and one of the cornerstones is the Matter of Mindset coursework. And as we basically help them, we'll just say shake out the things that are inside that they can't see and get them in front of themselves, we can then change and adjust the truth of what they're saying to themselves or what they're repeating.
Give me an example.
Perfect example is, I can't do that. A simple statement of, well, that's not how the business works. That's not how it works. Well, what works and got you here is not what's going to work and scale to get you there. So I have different exercises to help basically shake out the words that they are ruminating creating this invisible barrier of them wanting to step forward and try something new. I listen for buzzwords, and this is where the matter of mindset and the coaching side comes, because until you can have somebody that's on the outside that can see your distortion of the way you're thinking, it's very hard to self-diagnose some of the things that you have adapted and create your limitations. So limiting beliefs, limiting words, limiting statements, it'll actually cause you to see exactly what you imagine versus what reality is. So the invisible barriers are statements and perpetuated actions from those statements. Well, this is just the way we've been doing it. I guess we'll just keep doing it this way.
Yeah. So how do you help clients course correct? Say, how do you help clients with burnout? Say, like, he's just burnt out. So you give them a rest. How do you help them out with burnout?
I'm so glad you asked that. Our most recent client that's onboarding currently this week came to us in a state of burnout with the past 3 months having a family member pass away, just a number of things. And I would say where or how I help them with burnout is I provide them access to a geyser of energy. And that energy is usually in the form of at least being aware that there's a solution that is possible. And when you're stuck in an eddy, or you're backed into a corner of challenges and you're running this gauntlet, it can be exhausting. 10, 12, 14, 16-hour days, 6, 7 days a week. You're either working in the business, working on the business, and just giving a strategic map of how we're going to change this pattern is enough of a stream of energy to give them hope, to provide a point of imagination that is closer to reality than they could think about or devise by themselves because they were too close to it. And so, for instance, this most recent client that's onboarding into the Fast Track program met with him and his spouse, and they were both so, we'll just say, full of overwhelming exhaustion. I was able to we'll just say in a overview, say, okay, this is what's going on with the business. These are the 3 things that I see that are creating this pattern, and these are the 2 things that we're going to do tomorrow to stop it. It was able to kind of calm them where they could actually see, they lifted their head up and they were like, oh, wait a minute, she's right. We can change, and it can change as early as tomorrow. I said, yeah. We can literally, we could do it right now, but there's some things that we have to do, to legitimize the relationship, such as the engagement letter and understand the terms of opportunity in front of us. But as early as like this very next moment, I can throw an oxygen mask on you and you can breathe. And that just knowing there's a solution, that's how we can lift that weight.
Yeah. Sometimes we are so deep into the forest that we can't see the trees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that way.
Yeah.
Nose down in the mud, and I'm like, look up, and they're like, oh shoot, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Okay. Now, for listeners who feel aligned with your message, what's the best way to engage with Bring More Value?
Well, go to our website, bringmorevalue.com. There's many ways to learn about us, ways to get in touch with us. Sending us a message. You can always send us a message through the website. I'd love to do discovery sessions or just getting warm in the conversation to discover if there is something we can do and bring you in your adventure. But the best way to get in touch with us is just to go to bringmorevalue.com and check out our pages and hit us on the contact form, or you can send me an email directly. It's very easy. I am the Fix-It Queen at bringmorevalue.com. The Fix-It Queen at bringmorevalue.com.
The Fix-It Queen. Folks, you heard that. She is the Fix-It Queen. So you best go see morevalue.com. Now, what makes your approach different from, say, traditional consulting firms?
We don't sit on the sideline or the glass box. We're in the trench. We're on the field with you. So I liken it to if you were watching, let's just say coaches on a stage and they're giving you the rah, you know, they're like, okay, we're going to do the YMCA. And this is, you know, and you're watching them do it, you know, you're watching them and you're like, yeah. The next thing that we do that is different is we bring more value to you and grab your arms and throw them up and bend them. So you can actually start to get some muscle memory as to how to move, because knowing is one thing, doing is another. And what we do in our syllabus is we go from ideation in the 3 courses of matter of mindset, leadership, and marketing to implementation. And that deals with the left brain side of organization, management, and compensation. And those are just light titles, but what's in there is a depth of solutions and strategies that get you doing the YMCA. And you might be uncomfortable, but we're going to thrust your arms up and we're going to bend them in, and we're going to make the C, and we're going to connect, and we're going to do things in a way that perpetuate a new pattern versus watch you and guide you and tell you, throw your arms up, and then come back and check on you. Throw your arms up. You might do it like this. You know, I need you to be out.
Okay, I like that. Now, Amanda, what's one truth about value, clarity, or growth that most people overlook, but they shouldn't?
I like that question, Derek. The truth is, it's not what you think it is, meaning that value and growth and the steps that you're going to take, they're different once you start taking them. And you can sit there at the threshold of walking out because you think perceptually it's going to be like this, but until you move, you're not going to know transparently how it feels to go towards something in an unknown. So the best way I can put that is the truth about it is there's no shortcut. There's next evolutionary step, and it's going to be uncomfortable because you've never done it before. It's going to be uncomfortable. You've never done it before.
Okay. I like that. Well, you're absolutely right. You don't know what you don't know until you try.
Here's the thing. Oh, this is the other side. I'm going to caveat that real quick, Derek.
Okay. Go ahead.
I teach this to my clients. Failure is inevitable, right? You don't know what you don't know until you try, but you can guarantee that your first try is going to be a growth, meaning it's not going to succeed in the way that you're planning. So accept failure and embrace it as an opportunity to reflect and to learn. And I teach this in our programs, especially when we're growing leadership team within an organization. Allow them, give them permission to fail. Do not stop somebody that has a desire to lean in and to take initiative. You want to foster that initiative, and you want to reward it, and you don't want to punish failure just because they took initiative. You want to reflect and then fortify failure. You're going to fail.
Yes. Now you said I teach your clients. You teach them. Are there a set number of courses that they go through in this? How many courses are there?
There's a total of 6 courses and 2 syllabuses, and we coach either in person or in a stream of this year it's cohort number 6 of business owners that stream in. But when you're in the fast track level program, it is very much us being within the organization and you getting an intimate awareness to what I'm telling you, and it's very much coaching right on your shoulder. Because when you're watching your employee, let's just say they're learning how to drive a forklift, and you know, okay, they have their license, they got forklift certified, but you're watching them in your forklift, your anxiety is like, that was close, and you might want to like jump in and do it for them. And this is where I say the comfortability to fail must be there, and that can only come when you put in things to safeguard your peace of mind, insurances, trainings, and guidance that helps them not fail immediately. But it's just something that we help practice, and then we teach in our coursework across the 2 syllabuses.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I have one last question for you, Amanda. Are you a coffee drinker or a tea drinker?
Oh, snap. And I am a coffee drinker, and I want to tell you that I'm not only a coffee drinker, I'm excessive. It was last year. Year, in the beginning of the year, I got turned on to espresso shots, and I didn't do the math. Derek, I didn't do the math about caffeine and the espresso shots, and so I was rolling through, the coffee drive-through, and I'd be like, and I like the coffee taste to be stronger. So I was like, okay, I need 6 espresso shots and 9 pumps of syrup. And then there was one point in time, no joke, I counted up and I was having 3, what I call cups of coffee. But in this cup of coffee, there was like 6 shots of espresso. I was having 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day. I added it up and I was like, it was great because I was also taking magnesium baths, so it calmed me down while keeping me alert. It was the weirdest, probably 3 months of espresso shots, but I've toned it down to now just one cup of coffee that has maybe 3 to 6 espresso shots in it for the day. I like coffee.
Wow. I imagine those 3 months you must have been just bouncing all off the wall, though.
You would think so, but I was taking magnesium baths. I was working from the bath. I was doing everything. I was trying to calm down subliminally or subconsciously. Yeah. I had so much caffeine that my natural instinct was to go take a magnesium bath and calm down. So it was an interesting 3 months. Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. Well, Amanda, I just want to say thank you for sharing your insights for the work you do and helping people bring more value into what they do. And to everyone listening, if this episode resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it. Those simple actions help conversations like this one reach more people and who are ready to grow with intention. And to learn more about Amanda, and bring it more value, visit bringmorevalue.com. And if you're looking to stay aligned and accountable after gaining clarity, explore tools like trackitpro.com. And if you're motivated but unclear about your next step, explore the Clarity System by Creative Minds AI, because clarity always comes before optimization. I'm Derek Fennell, and this is the Next Gen Podcast 1. Until the next time, clarify your direction, track what matters, and bring more value forward. Thank you, Amanda, for all you've done today, and it was a great show. And thank our audience for joining us. And we look forward to talking to you on the next episode. Bye, Amanda.
Bye.